All right, everybody, it's 9:05, and again, thank you for joining us on this beautiful Wednesday here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hope all of you are doing well and the weather is good where you are. We're very fortunate today to have a good friend of ours, Mr. Jesse Brewer, with us from SureBridge, and we're going to talk a little bit about how SureBridge and their portfolio of ancillary products is going to work well with what you guys are hopefully doing out in the field these days, whether that's on the under 65 side and enrolling all those folks on these ACA plans or still focused on our MA clients. And a lot of people have asked us in the last couple of weeks, Jeff, why should I focus on one or the other? And simply put, and I think Jesse will reiterate this as we go through the presentation today, that really if you're working on the under 65 side, you're building up future clients for MA as those folks transition through their 30s, 40s, and 50s and into those senior products. And then on the reverse side of that, the number of referrals that you'll get from the folks that you're working with on your MAPDs and your med subs to take care of their children and grandchildren. It's really a great client referral base to start out with and to generate those leads that we're always looking for people to see. So I think it's great that you work on both of those things. The reason I say that, last week I was on vacation for a couple of days with the family at the beach and had the girls out running around on the beach. And I noticed that we had a hard time focusing on what we were doing in our early morning walks, which was to look for seashells. There was so much going on around us between the surf and the birds and other people on the beach that at times we forgot again why we were there. So let's just get back to where we are today, which is to focus on why we're selling and what ancillary products like SureBridge offers can do for our clients. As great as the plans are today, ladies and gentlemen, on both the over and under 65 side, there's still some gaps there that need to be filled. I think Jesse can speak also to the number of people that will have to claim some sort of bankruptcy based on a medical claim. And with that, these products can help take care of that need to avoid those types of situations for your clients. So with that, thank you again for joining us. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Brewer, and we're going to take a good look at SureBridge and how they can help meet the needs for you and your clients. Jesse?
All right. Good morning. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate the time that Messer's put into getting this webinar scheduled and getting everybody on board. And also for the individuals that are early this morning up and getting ready for work. So let's go ahead and get started. Messer is one of our top marketers that we have at SureBridge, and we really appreciate the good business that they do with us. They write good quality business and they bring agents to us, and they also provide a lot of support and training for agents such as doing this. So again, thanks very much for the opportunity to introduce SureBridge to your agent base and see if there's an opportunity that these agents want to take advantage of. Introducing new products from SureBridge for the senior market. This is what we're going to focus on today because we're seeing a lot of agents gravitate to that market. And we also know that we have more than 10,000 people turning age 65 every day. And there's a lot of questions that these individuals have. And myself and my wife, we're just going through that whole process now. And it's very interesting being an agent. And now I go and I work with somebody else because I want to consult with them to make sure I'm doing the right things always, because I don't want to overlook something. I want somebody to take a look at it. And so they've, here's our ideas on Social Security, here's our ideas on your med sup, and I like to get that second opinion other than just mine. So when we're talking about SureBridge, I always talk about 3 C's: the choice, convenience, and counsel. We offer a trusted brand. Well, I don't know if you know it, but about 2 years ago, SureBridge was purchased by United Healthcare. So we're under the United Healthcare umbrella, but we still operate as SureBridge as our product portfolio. But our ratings have gone up, our financial strength has improved. So that only benefits the agent and the clients. So that's good. So you're with a trusted company. Convenience, we do everything electronic. Everything is done online. As an agent can do business 24/7 a day, or they can set up what we call microsites, and they can drive their clientele there to be able to purchase coverage. So it's very convenient. You don't have to be face to face, belly to belly, toe to toe with your client, but you can if you want to. And some seniors like that, but with the COVID experience that we've had in the last year, we've watched a lot of agents become very tech savvy and selling using the technology and like Zoom and those types of meetings. And of course, as agents and employees, we're on Zoom meetings all the time. And then counsel. As an agent, we're really looking for the trusted advisor where the individual sits down, evaluates the risk and the needs of the client, and provides a proper recommendation. We're looking for the agents that are in the business, that have a passion, and can provide that counsel for these clients because there's a lot of questions that everybody has. And you know what? This stuff is not easy, it's complicated. You've got dates and things like that that you got to be familiar with. So if you're on top of your game, you can help out a lot of clients and benefit financially yourself, but also protect your client base. Now, moving forward, the SureBridge advantage, speed and convenience. Like I said, you can operate 24/7. 90% of our cases are issued in real time. I would say that that 90% is probably up around 95%. It's pretty high that it's all issued the same day because everything is a knockout questions that we have on the app. So you know at the end of the app process what cases are going to be issued and what cases won't, just depending on how the client answered the questions. As long as they're truthful and answer them, then there's no problem with the coverage. Now, when somebody misstates things, then there's always an issue. Now, signature, you can either do face to face, email, voice, text message. We see most people doing the email or text message signature option. So that goes very quickly. And you'll find out that a lot of seniors have smartphones because they want to stay in touch with their grandkids and things. And so they're getting pretty used to this technology. And, you have to have it. And I guess when my iPhone and things like that goes bad, who do I call? I call my grandson about 8. Okay, how do we fix this? He's got it figured out. Now, our product portfolio, it's very easy. We're not doing any coordination of benefits with hospital bills or anything like that. We have scheduled amounts that we pay, and if the claim form comes in and the bill comes in with the proper coding, those bills are turned around. On the average, claims are paid in about 7 to 10 days. Some of them are faster if they're, truly an accident plan. We also have guaranteed issue for if you're under 65. Certain products are guarantee issue or disability or critical illness, those types of plans. Now, like I said, our application's very easy to understand. The application gets built in the background based upon the products that you're going to be selling. So if you're only selling dental, you're not going to have any health questions. It's just going to go strictly, here's the product, here's the price, and then you just do the banking information and the case is issued. But now if you're going to have a critical illness or hospital-wise, you'll have some questions regarding health. Now, the over 65 or the senior market is what we want to focus on today. And we're going to really talk about hospital-wise, prime DVH, and CI-wise. Now, the hospital-wise, if you're working the Medicare Advantage market or, Med Sup or the ACA market, this product is perfect because we have a software support to be able to match our hospital-wise up with any type of Med Advantage plan that you're selling, so you know exactly where the exposure is and you can fill it. And so that works with the software. Very, very nice tool. Help the agent be very successful in selling hospital-wise. And then Prime DVH, that's dental, vision, hearing. We find that to be our hottest selling product. And I think the reason is number one, the pricing is very fair, and you've got 3 plans in one, and it does not require a network. So you don't have to be looking to go to a certain network to have the benefits. You can use the Carrington network, but if you don't, your benefits are not going to be reduced. Here in Nebraska, where I'm located, we find a lot of agents like this product because in some of these small communities, there's the dentist. They don't belong to any network because they really don't have to. They don't have a lot of competition. They're not trying to attract a ton of clients. They're taking care of the clients within their region, and they're they really don't need that to be part of a network. So our agents really like selling that to the clients because it gives them the flexibility. They can go anywhere and they're not going to have a reduced benefit. Senior vision, standalone vision, great plan to have, but you can get that with the Prime DVH. And what's nice about the senior vision is you can have your exam paid at 100% through iMed, and then you can purchase glasses the same day. So you can buy it today, go tomorrow, have your exam, and get your glasses. Senior dental, we have a PPO dental. Uh, I'm not for sure if that's approved in North Carolina or not, but it's in almost all states. You can always check the website for that. That's a $1,200 benefit, standalone dental using the Carrington network. But I know the Prime DVH is approved everywhere. Critical illness, CI wise, this is a plan that's got a lot of flexibility to be able to build based upon, you know, cancer, heart and stroke, other critical conditions. So you can decide how you want to build it. And then fixed indemnity, we have that, but now with the hospital-wise, we're selling more hospital-wise than we are fixed indemnity. But you can have the choice, but I think you're going to gravitate and sell the hospital-wise because of the software support. Now, working the senior market, we know that agents are always looking for referrals because you know what, the cost of leads have gone up and it's tough to find a good lead source. They're expensive, but if you're working and counseling, you're going to get referrals. And with seniors, you're going to get referrals to their kids and grandkids and neighbors. So you got to have an understanding of the under 65 portfolio. And it's really the same that we have on the senior, except now we've added some accident plans. And probably the biggest selling one that we have right now is accident companion. That pays a lump sum benefit. If you're in an accident and you got to go to the emergency room or urgent care, it's going to pay X amount of dollars. And then if you're going to be covered in stay overnight in the hospital, it's going to pay a larger lump sum. So it's a very competitive product. So if you have seniors who have grandkids who are active in sports, football, baseball's coming around right now, this is great. Or if they have kids who are getting ready to go to summer camp, and you know what? A lot of parents have high deductible health plans. Something happens, they're not ready to pay that high deductible. So this can provide dollars when they need it. And so you can go through, we have, you know, disability, accident direct, accident disability direct. You can get up to 2,500 to your benefit guarantee issue on accident disability. Premiums are probably about 15 to 20% of a standard DI premium, but it works great. Uh, and then income protection is both sickness and accident. The metal gap, I would probably not be selling that because hospital-wise, again, takes care of it. Now, moving forward, let's take a look at the product that we want to focus on, one of the three today, and it's hospital-wise for the senior market. For wise protection against the unexpected cost. We know that costs are increasing, and we know that when somebody goes into the hospital, they're going to have deductibles and copays, loss of income, and it's going to be expensive. And we know that most people do not have the ability to afford all that. You know, they give you all the stats about individuals who have financial exposure or bankruptcy, whereas, you know, like 67% of all bankruptcies are due to medical, but 75% of those people had insurance, but still had to claim bankruptcy. So what's happened here? People are living paycheck to paycheck, and you got 2/3 of the population out there right now that do not have $1,000 available to cover an emergency. Maybe some more do right now with all the stimulus money that's been put out there, but 2/3 of the population does not have the ability to cover $1,000 emergency. Well, you also have a lot of people who have taken out high deductible health plans because the premiums are lower and they're thinking, you know what, it's not going to happen to me. I'm going to take a gamble. And that's when something happens. Well, take a look at hospital-wise. We see the deductibles and the average length of stay for a hospital confinement and the average cost of a hospital confinement. Those numbers continue to increase, and people just do not have the means or the wherewithal to be able to cover that and to take money out of savings. Now, hospital-wise, you got issue ages 0 to 90. So we're going to tap into your entire marketplace. Guaranteed renewable, premium factors is going to be issue age, unisex, and unismoke, because we don't have any way to find out if somebody's a non-smoker or a smoker, so we have a unismoke rate. I know when we had a smoking rate and a non-smoking rate, it was about 99% of our people were non-smokers. So the industry's gone to a unismoke because they're not getting parameds or anything like that, or blood draws to be able to determine what's correct and what's not. So it's got a blended rate. Rate structure, you got individual spouse, individual children. You can match the product up to the demographics of the family. You don't have any waiting period. You have a one-time application fee of $20. That is for mom, dad, and all the kids on one app. It's one $20 fee. It's not $20 per policy. It's $20 per application, but you can have everybody on one application. And like I said earlier, the underwriting, it's truly simplified. Some of it can be guaranteed issue, some of it can be simplified issue. But we're not asking your clients, we're not pulling MIBs or script checks or anything like that, or personal history interviews. It's all just underwritten off the app. Now, with the hospital-wise, you got the hospital confinement. You got a daily benefit here that you can go anywhere from $50 to $1,000. What we see is on the average, most of our agents are selling about a $300 a day benefit for a benefit period of about 6 days. And that has a lot to do with the Medicare Advantage plans exposure that they see. And this is about where they settle on the premium. Also, there's an observation benefit that's automatically included. We've all heard those stories about somebody who's been to the emergency room, been there for hours and hours and hours, and then they go home. And long and behold, a couple of weeks later, they get a bill from the hospital, but they were never admitted. And with us, you've got an observation benefit built in. You don't have to decide to add it or not. It's automatic. It pays one daily benefit if they've been there for more than 12 hours. So you're going to get that. If you had a $300 benefit, you're going to be paid $300. Mental and nervous, $250 for a maximum of 7 days. And I've already worked with a couple agents on this benefit for families that had some issues with COVID and being, confined to home and quarantine and kids not being in school. You know what? Some people have had a difficult time. It has not been easy, but all of a sudden, you might have a child, from bullying or whatever that might need some counseling. And this has benefited this family because they were not aware of this benefit. And all of a sudden, they had this copay and everything. The agent remembered that, hey, we have mental and nervous, and it was taken care of. So that's a great benefit, automatically included. I don't want anybody to use it or whatever, but it's there in case. Now, lump sum hospital confinement. This is probably one of my favorite benefits on this because when I quote it, a lot of times I will go less on the daily benefit because hospital stays, usually the number of days, uh, they don't like to keep you in there that long. So if I have a $300 for 6 days, that's $1,800 that I got to be in there. But let's say I'm only in there for 1 or 2 days. If I do the lump sum for, $1,800 or $1,750, I guess. I could get $1,750. I can do that. So if I'm in there one day, I get $1,750 versus waiting for $300 per day. I could get it all up front. You just have to look at the quote to see what fits for affordability for the client. Outpatient surgery rider, this is a good one to have because a lot of your surgeries are taking place outpatient and you can have a benefit there. Skilled nursing facility. What we see here are individual agents quoting the 21 to 100 because on your Med Sup, you're going to have, through Medicare, you're going to have your first 20 days covered in the skilled nursing. So you're going to tack on from the 21 to 100 so you can take care of that deductible, like what, $185 or something. So you can take care of that. There's a lot of value here for the premium that this is going to cost. But most agents are quoting the 21 to 100. And then emergency care rider, this is if you go to the emergency room of a hospital. It's not going to pay if you go to an urgent care center. It has to be an emergency room associated with a hospital. And that'll pay 4 times per year, and you don't have to be hospitalized. But you have to go to the emergency room of the hospital. It's not where you can go like the accident companion works, where you go to the urgent care center and that pays. Ambulance rider, we will pay for ambulance transportation as long as it results in hospitalization. We don't want it to be an expensive Uber or Lyft. It is strictly if you have to go in an ambulance to the emergency room or the hospital and you are admitted, then we will pay. I live in Omaha, Nebraska, and I know that a lot of people, property taxes are high and everything, and everybody thinks that the fire department and the ambulance, that's all covered. If you have a fire, they show up, but they don't send you a bill there. But if the ambulance comes and takes you, they're going to send you a bill, and usually that's over $400 if I remember right. So a lot of people think their taxes should be paying for that, but there's a separate charge for that with the city. Outpatient major diagnostic, this one, very good, because we all know when we go to the hospital, we're going to start to have those exams, the MRI, the CAT scan. They're just going to schedule them, and they're going to take a modern medicine. That's what we're going to be doing. So you're going to have some copays on that. Now you've got some benefit. Now, here's an example of Jane, who's 65 years old, very happy with her Medicare Advantage plan. So she just turned 65, and she had that decision to make. Am I getting the Med Sup? Am I going Medicare Advantage? Because right now you see on television and the internet all the different advertisements about the companies offering Medicare Advantage plans and how attractive they are when they advertise about the benefits that they're going to get, the gym memberships, the meals, all that, and no premiums. People look at that and think, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. But there's limited networks and things, but yet she's very happy with this. And you can see on the left-hand side, Jane's out of pocket with her Med Advantage plan, and you can see the exposure that she's got. $285 a day for 5 days. That's about $1,500. $250 copay for outpatient surgery. Emergency care, $80. Ambulance, $200. Skilled nursing, $175, 21 to 100. And then major diagnostic, 20%. So she's got a lot of financial exposure there. But now with ours, you can go ahead and quote it, and the software will show you exactly what to quote. So when you take a look at Jane and what we recommend, we say get a 6-day plan for $300. Now we did not include the lump sum because we just matched up, dollar for dollar, area for area here. Outpatient surgery, emergency care, and then skilled nursing and major diagnostic. So we quoted that, Jane being 65, total cost is going to be $5,404. Now that rate's not going to go up. It's guaranteed renewable. So it doesn't go up with her age or anything like that. It's going to stay $5,404. So really, you're talking about $1.75 a day that Jane would be paying for this plan that would give her peace of mind and reduce that financial exposure. So something to think about. This is a great plan to offer. Now, to support you, when you go in to do the proposal, you go into subsportal.com, the dashboard that you go to do business and submit business. I know that with Messer, you've got their software program, but you can, sign into the subs portal to conduct business and to submit the app, so that you go right in there and you look at uh, the different proposal systems, and you're going to go into the illness. But you look up there in the upper right-hand corner on that gray bar, hospital-wise senior plan builder. That's anytime that you're quoting somebody that's 65 and above, that hospital-wise senior plan builder link is going to appear. If you click on that, then here's what you get. You're going to put in the plan year, the plan carrier, and the plan name, because that's going to pull it up based upon the zip code that you use to do the quote. So on the left-hand side, it's going to bring up the financial exposure that the Aetna plan has, the copays and everything that the individual have to pay. Now, what we recommend is on the right-hand side, the hospital-wise recommendation. So this really helps you with compliance, because we're really recommending a plan that's going to cover that exposure. And you can go right down the line and see that we're going to exceed that copay or deductible. And then if you want to update proposal, you click on that. It's already into the proposal system, and then you just add it right into the quote. So all of a sudden you're there at $78.58. You're there for about $2.25 a day for this senior hospital wise on this particular quote. Now you can see down the page there, the lump sum hospital confinement. We didn't click on that, but we could, and then we could add some amount in there. Or we could change this down to 50 and maybe 3 days, and then bring the lump sum down to maybe 1750, and you can see what the premium would be. So you can mess with it to kind of make sure that you get a plan that's affordable for your client, but also provide value. But that is the great tool that we have for agents selling hospital-wise. We've had a lot of success with that, and that tool gets updated all the time because it's through CSG Actuarial out of Omaha, Nebraska. They keep track of all those Med Advantage plans and the rates. So that's great to have. Now, the second product that we want to talk about is critical illness, or CIYs. And you know what? You just never know when a critical illness is going to appear within your family, friends, neighbors, coworkers. You just never know. It's always unexpected. So when we take a look at critical illness wise, the need, we look at cancer, 38.4%. You know what? 1 out of 3. So if there's 3 of us in a room, we know that 1 out of 3 is going to have cancer. And we all kind of look at each other and kind of think, you know what? It's not going to be me. But you just never know when it's going to happen. Heart disease, 38 seconds. Everybody, someone in the US dies from heart disease. And then every 40 seconds, somebody has a stroke. So we see it out there, but a lot of times we don't think it's going to happen to us. So, lifetime cancer, 1 out of 3. So going here, we're going to have the same issue, ages 0 to 90. Benefits amount, if you're under 64, you can get up to 100,000. But if you're 64 and above, the max is 50,000. If you're under 64 years of old age, then you can get guarantee issue of 5 or 10,000. Now, what's nice about that is on the application process, if you're working with somebody that's under, 63 and under, or under 64, and they say apply for $50,000 of critical illness, but you can click on the box that says, hey, if they don't get 50, issue 10 automatically. So that way they're going to get something. You're not going to have to go back and take a second app. So if they're interested in purchasing 50 but can't have it, but still get 10, I'm sure they're going to take it because something is better than nothing. Renewability, guaranteed renewable for life. Age-based benefit reductions, we don't reduce benefits. So when the person turns 70, we don't cut the benefit in half or raise the premium. The premium that you're paying today is what you're going to be paying going forward, and the benefit is not going to be reduced. You will find out that our premiums on our critical illness, I would say, are very attractive in the senior market because we write about 4% of the individual CI in the marketplace as one of the largest writers of individual CI. And we have a large block of under 65 business, but when we tapped into the senior market, we were able to do some blending of rates, and it's made some very attractive rates for the senior market. Premium factors, you're going to have your issue age, sex distinct, unit smoke, you're going to have that. And then everything is truly accept, reject based upon how you answer the questions on the app. Now, a lot of times the claims process might be a little slow on a critical illness. If all of a sudden you bought a plan and 3 months later you're turning in for a cancer claim, they're going to go ahead and do that because you still have the 2-year contestability period. So just as fast as your doctors get the records out, then the claim can be paid. But a lot of times it might take a little bit more than that 7 to 10 day average. Now, with the CI wise, this product has a lot of flexibility. It's kind of like messing with Legos when you were a kid. You start with a base policy and you add optional riders. You can start with cancer wise and then you can add the heart and stroke and critical conditions, or you can just start with heart wise and add critical conditions. Or if you want, you can just sell cancer. That's it, as a base policy. So if you're talking to a client who's had a heart attack, they're not going to qualify for that, but they can get the cancer wise, quote them just the cancer plan. So it can be a standalone cancer plan. So you got the ability to customize it. Heart attack and stroke, you got the reoccurrence riders and invasive cancer, and then the wellness rider. The first 2 riders, the heart and stroke and the invasive, that's going to pay another 50% of the benefit if you've gone 365 days treatment free. Then we'll pay out the benefit again if something happened. The wellness rider, I've looked at that. Some days I really, between you and me, I kind of question why we have it, but people are interested in it. But as an individual, I probably would not buy it because the premium is about $4 a month. And if my math serves me right, 4 times 12 is 48. I don't really want to spend $48 to get 50 back. I'd rather take that $4 if I'm going to spend it and maybe spend it on a higher benefit amount than the wellness rider. So something to think about there, and you can do that through the software. Now, HeartWise pays a lump sum benefit for heart attack and stroke. All right, you can see the covered conditions. You just never know when it's going to happen, but it's going to pay 100% of the benefit. And then bypass and angioplasty, it's a reduced, but you still have the rest of the dollars available. So we pay per category. This is not a one and done critical illness plan. This pays per category. Cancer wise, covered conditions, invasive cancer, 100%, cancer in situ, benign brain tumor, and skin cancer. So I like the skin cancer benefit because we've had a lot of people who've always filed a claim about cancer and then they ended up getting 0 because it was skin cancer, but we'll pay out a one-time $250 for that. But usually it's invasive cancer and we're paying out that 100% benefit. Critical conditions riders in the senior market, this one's very attractive, especially the loss of independent living. It'll pay 25% of the benefit, and you do not have to be, in a skilled nursing facility or anything like that. But if you lose 2 of the 6 ADLs, we'll pay out 25% of the benefit. So this could be helping you stay home, in-home health care, people to call up on you. This will give you some free up some dollars for you to be able to do that. Give you that chance to stay at home more versus going to a facility. Now, invasive, like I said, the reoccurrence, you've got that for both cancer and stroke. If you've gone 365 days symptom and treatment free, and then it happens again, we'll pay out 50% of the benefit. So if you had a $100,000 CI, you paid it out, you went 1 year without, and now you have another heart attack, we'll pay out 50,000 more. So I look at those premiums for those riders. They're very, very inexpensive, and I would rather add that rider on just in my quoting to be able to have the client have that peace of mind. Now here's an example of senior market of Victor and Sandy, and they're 65. They got a Medicare Advantage plan, but they know that they have some maximum out of pocket, 7,200, 7,500, and then a state to the 3,000. So it's trying to figure out how much should you sell an individual. And you'll find out that, if somebody's diagnosed with cancer in October, they're going to have deductibles. And then come January, they're going to have deductibles again. So in 4 months, they're going to be paying out large amounts of deductibles. Well, with the CI wise, you can see there Victor and Sandy and the premium it's going to be for them to each have a benefit of $20,000. Now, that's to have, all three buckets of money and the reoccurrence and all that. But maybe Victor just wants cancer. You can drop off the heart and stroke and the critical conditions and just do cancer to make it more affordable. So you can pick and choose, and you got the flexibility to customize it based upon your counseling of your client, or you can sell just the max there. Now, how do you introduce critical illness? And we always do it through questions. Who do you know who's had a heart attack, stroke, or cancer? And we all know of somebody, and you just never know when it's going to hit. It hit within our family here this last year. My daughter-in-law, 42 years old, never smoked, anything like that, diagnosed with lung cancer. And you know what? It was a shock. We had no idea. She swims, exercise, work, and then just started having some pain and things, and lost part of her vision, and went into the hospital, and they did some testing, and that's what she has. But we're dealing with it, and meds and things are working out well. But you just never know when it's going to happen. I would, it could have been radon or whatever, but you just don't know. Was it expected? You know what? Not at all. We did not expect anything like this. Young mother, exercise and doing all that, you just never know. Now, did it create emotional or financial stress? Oh yeah, it does, because you got deductibles and things, but all of a sudden it's like, okay, what's my treatment? What's going to happen? What's going to happen to our younger son? How's he going to cope with this? What are we going to have to do, work-wise, insurance-wise? Absolutely, there was emotional and financial stress. They've got good insurance, things like that. That's going fine. But emotional, it's the not knowing what's going to happen. What happens to my hair loss, things like that. What type of meds? So there's stress there. Now, would a lump sum check have helped? Absolutely. If $25,000 or $50,000 comes tax free when you're going through this, now you've got the ability to pay some mortgage payments, take care of some bills, and concentrate on getting well, taking care of yourself, and not worrying about the stress of copays and things like that. So those are conversational questions that you could have with your client base. And as an agent, you might want to take for the next month, I'm going to focus on and talk to all my clients about critical illness. Here's a chance. Now, Prime DVH, this is our top selling product, dental, vision, hearing. It's all combined into one. And we know that people really benefit from the dentist because That's where I'm going tomorrow at 8:30. My 6-month checkup is scheduled, and I'm going in. It's just I go in every 6 months out of habit, and that was created really because I had dental insurance. They changed my behavior. Before dental insurance, I usually went when I had a problem. It was usually more painful and more expensive. But we know that 37 million traditional Medicare fee-for-service enrollees, 21% have private dental insurance. Only 21, so it's 1 out of 5. And you can keep going through and you look at many of the Medicare Advantage plans, minimal dental coverage. Some of them, it's minimal just to say that, hey, we've got dental coverage, but it's very minimal. And then roughly 1 in 4 don't have dental coverage. So I think that really, I don't think I'm going to go bankrupt over a crown or a root canal or anything like that, but I want to sell this as a wellness benefit because they can uncover a lot of things by going to the dentist every 6 months. Regular cleanings and checkups detect oral cancer, lower chance of spreading by up to 90%, gum disease, gingivitis, cavities, tooth loss, bad breath. So you're nipping it in the bud early. Individuals without the dental benefits, 67% more likely to have heart disease, 50% osteoporosis, 29% diabetes. Hearing loss, the third most common health problem in the US. Uh, you know what? I'm seeing a lot of advertisements for hearing aids and different discounts and things that you can have. Linked to cognitive decline. People start to shut down. They don't feel part of a group. Depression, dementia enters in. 28.8 million adults in the U.S. could benefit from using hearing aids. My wife thinks I could benefit from one. I think it's just the pitch that I hear that I don't hear sometimes. So that's supposed to be a joke. Vision exams are covered. 65% will detect high cholesterol, diabetes, hypertension. I go once a year, have my vision exam covered at 100%. Now, if I didn't have vision insurance, I would still go, but the vision exam would be about $150 here in Omaha, Nebraska. Well, with the insurance, it's going to be covered at 100%. Now, what's nice about this plan, like I said earlier, is that you can go to anywhere that you want. You don't have to go within a network. You can go, they don't have to be part of that network. So you've got preventive dental covered at 100% from day one, no deductible. Vision hearing exam covered 100% from day one, no deductible. So it's not going to cause you to wait. There's no waiting periods for basic dental procedures, 9-month waiting period for the major stuff, the crowns, the root canals, things like that. Premium wise, I've looked at our plan compared to the industry out there. We're right in the ballpark. Commission wise, same thing. I think our premiums really stack up well against the major competitors. And then, like I said, you can choose any provider. You're not stuck with a certain network. Now, issue ages 0 to 90, that's where we're going with the senior product portfolio. And then with this plan, you've got, good, better, best, low, medium, high. You got 1,000, 1,500, or 2,000 maximum. $100 deductible, but that does not apply to the exams and the cleanings. What we're seeing right now is the $2,000 max that a lot of people will purchase, and that'll run about $46 or $60 a month, depending on your age, whether you're 64 or 65. So you really want to be buying it when you're 64. And like I said, you can go anywhere you want. And then on the vision hearing exams, those are covered at 100%. You can do those day one. But the hardware, there's a waiting period to get the hardware. Now, preventive, that's what I'm going in for tomorrow. Covered every 6 months, 100%. Basic dental, that's going to be the fillings, the cavities, things like that you're going to do. And then the major, that's going to be the bridges, the crowns, Crowns are not, they're, each crown I've had has been more than $1,000. So they are expensive, but you do benefit by having them. Now, you can take a look at the waiting period. Like I said, preventive and basic, there's no waiting period. In major, there's a 9-month wait. Most of my competition has a 12-month wait there on the major. Now, the coverage amounts, as for an agent, I like this plan because it really improves the quality of my business with persistency, because the client is getting a bigger benefit as they hold on to this plan. So in year 3, they're getting 80% benefit versus 60 in year 1. They're not going to want to give this plan up because the benefit increases. As an agent, I'm still generating my renewals. So that makes a lot of sense to me. We've created this plan to create good quality business for both you and the client. Hearing benefits, like I said, the exams covered 100%. Where you really save on this is the discount for the hearing aids, the 30 to 60%. And then the vision, you got 100% eye exam, and then you can see what else is covered. Now, probably the only drawback that kind of frustrates with me with this plan is that, the exam's covered, but the hardware, there's a 9-month wait on that. We'd love to change that, but haven't got that done yet. It's just waiting 9 months to be able to get the glasses. If I just went in and got my eye exam and there was a change in vision, I would like to get my glasses. Well, that's where you need the other vision plan if you want that. And then the maximum combined is going to be $200 per year. Now, here's the premiums. Now, this is for the premiums that are in the majority of states. I think there's like 6 states that have a different rate, and that will show up in the proposal. And like I said, that 41 to 65 age range, it's $46. That's 66 and above, it's 60. I really try to get the people working the senior market to get this sold when they're 65, because that premium doesn't change. So as you go from bracket to bracket, your rate's not going up. Whatever rate is that you bought it, that's the rate it's going to stay. So if you bought this when you're 40 years old, you're at 39, and now 20 years from now, you're still going to be paying $39. It's not going to step up. So that works out well. Now, what I see, most clients purchasing the $2,000 benefit for $46 a month. Then what they do when they turn 66, most of them will drop down to the $1,500 benefit and pay $47, because they look at the difference between 46 and 60 at $14 a month. And then, when you take 14 times 12, I think that's 128 or 168. I don't want to pay $168 for $500 worth of coverage. So most of the time, they'll just drop down and self-fund the difference. Now, how do you introduce dental into your block of business? You might want to take a look at your entire client base, see who has dental and who doesn't, and really focus on selling it as a not insurance plan, but as a wellness benefit, being able to get individuals into that habit. You want to change their behavior so that they're going to the dentist every 6 months. They're getting those checkups, getting that evaluation, and you might be preventing some large health problems down the road just by having that checkup. Well, how do you get the client to do this? Had your teeth cleaned, saw your optometrist, completed the hearing exam. You can start to do this by asking questions and doing fact finding. So if you're doing Medicare, we know that dental and vision is not covered with Medicare. It'll state it right in the book. I think it's like page 11 in the book that, hey, this is not covered. Well, here's an example that you need to cross-sell this product. Now, as an agent, when you sign up with SureBridge through Messer Financial, you have an opportunity that after you sold 2 applications, we will send you a $50 bonus. So all agents have an opportunity for that if they've never sold with SureBridge before or sold 2 apps. So this is a good opportunity now, come summertime, to do some evaluating of your client base, an opportunity to get introduced into SureBridge product portfolio and earn an additional $50. And in fact, I'm getting ready to send out, I got a list of a couple of agents that earned it this week so far, and so I'll send them a little note, appreciation, and thanks for doing business with us. So I want you to take advantage of that. And then to get contracted and everything, you're probably you were invited by Messer to attend this webinar, and there's their contact information. You probably have it, but if you want to do, getting contracted to be able to sell SureBridge, we bring no agents direct to the company. So everybody's got to work through an FMO or a NMO or a national marketer. And Messer is one of the groups that we've selected to represent us. And so you can reach out to Jeff and all the staff there to make sure that you're contracted properly and you're ready to go. And you can get set up and you can start taking a look at our portfolio and start selling products. And then we do more training sessions that we can get more down, product by product and the application process of practicing it, going to the dashboard. But a lot of you are very tech savvy. That's a real quick learning curve to be able to do that. And then here's my contact information. You feel free to give me a call or send me an email. I'll be glad to assist you. A lot of times I'm tied up on the phone, pretty busy, but I would really go to your first line of asking, talking to Messer, because that's what they're for, to support you. And if there's additional questions or issues that you might have, feel free to reach out to me and we'll see what we can do to help you. Again, I really appreciate your time. I'm going to turn it over to Jeff because we might have a few questions and answers that we need to take care of, but we're just about at the end of our hour. Again, thank you very much. And hopefully you picked up some ideas that you can put to work today. So I'll turn it back
Jesse,
over to Jeff.
Jesse, thank you so much. That's some great information. As far as questions go, the thing that I would like for us to do, if you don't mind, run back through the slides and take us to where we can take another good look at that comparison tool where I can actually put in the Medicare Advantage plan of the client that I'm working with, because I put that down on the scope of appointment so that we can talk about that after we get this application done and how this can fill all those gaps. So I want everybody with us today, again, to take a good look at this and how easy this would be for you to do this while you're in the home of your client. And we're doing this all electronically, so it's easy to quote and easy to submit. And maybe, Jesse, talk about where we would go once we run the quote, how we actually submit the business while we've got just a few minutes left.
Right. Okay. When you go into supsportal.com, you're going to sign in with your producer number and your password. And on the home page, there's going to be a quote and apply tool. And you're going to click on that and it's going to bring it up and you put it in the zip code, the client's name, just like doing a regular quote, and then the date of birth. And if you have somebody who's over 65, then it's going to bring up this hospital-wise plan builder up there in the upper right-hand corner. And you click on that and it's going to bring in where you answer the information about the Medicare plan, Medicare Advantage plan that you're selling. Now, before we had electronic, you would always have people have a paper brochure and they would be looking at, oh, the benefit is here and then our benefit's this, and doing that paper to paper. Well, a lot of companies, you know what, we don't provide printed brochures. We provide PDFs that you can print, but we don't have a printing department to where you can order a couple hundred brochures. Everything is cost effective and it's driving that. Now you can purchase some brochures or I'll send you some if you need just a few, but everything is really getting back to being efficient, and that's what this helps. So now you put in the plan year, the plan carrier, and then the plan name, whether it be United, Aetna, any of the companies, Cigna that's doing Medicare Advantage, those plans will all be listed out there by zip code. You enter that in, And on the left-hand side is going to show the exposure. On the right-hand side is going to show the recommendation on how to cover that. Now, you can use that recommendation, or you can alter it or customize it the way you want. Maybe the client thinks, you know what, I don't need to have, like this example, the outpatient surgery rider. I really don't need that, but I'll take that premium and I'll buy more daily benefit or more of the single lump sum instead of that. So you've got that flexibility. So that is a great tool to use. It goes right over into the software and you can enter it right into the proposal. So when you get ready to do the underwriting, it's in the application, the questions will be asked, and it'll be on the proposal right there. So that's a great tool to use for that. So again, that's where we support the agent. We want to try and get rid of some of that confusion, and so that the client can make a good decision based upon how they want to take care of their insurance needs.
Yeah, Jesse, I think that's great. I mean, we had a number of agents last year, and as you mentioned earlier, on some of those commercials where some of those past sports stars are talking about you could get so much back in your Social Security check. Well, that's tied to the Part B Give Back plan. So if you're out there writing Medicare Advantage business, and the plan that the client chooses is one of those Part B Give Backs, now you've got 50, 70, 80, in some cases hundreds of dollars, or over $100 to use in Florida. And this would be a great fit for you to sit down and go through this with the client and make sure that you've got those gaps filled in those plans. Because as we know, in the Part B plans that do have a give back, you're looking at some benefits that are a little bit lighter than some of the other plans that are available. So a great option here for you guys that are out selling Medicare Advantage and talking to people about those Part B give back plans. A great way to fill those gaps. Well, Jesse, we're right up against our time frame here today, so I want to thank you for your time and expertise with going over the SureBridge products. We'll have you back here over the summer to go over any updates to the plans that you guys have and talk a little bit more about the ACA and things like that. Also want to say to everybody again, very easy to get contracted with us for SureBridge. Just give us a call here at 866-568-9649 and ask to speak to someone in producer support or speak to your marketing director. We'll be happy to direct you to your SureLC contracting site, which is all electronic, and we'll get you appointed as quickly as we can, get you certified and ready to go with Jesse and these great products here. Also, there's some things, Jesse, if you want to just touch on them real quickly about microsites and some of the things that agents can use through SureBridge as well.
Sure. Once you get licensed, appointed with us, we know that a lot of agents out there have their landing page or website, and you can be able to link our quote tool to your website, and so that your clients can enroll right through that. It's a microsite. We'll put your name, phone number, and everything on it, and they can be able to submit business that way. We've had some agents that have been very successful using microsite. We've had other agents who have not been successful. I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Field of Dreams, but the famous, saying in there is, "Hey, if you build it, they will come." It doesn't necessarily work that way with microsites. You've got to have a way to drive that traffic. And so if you're working with like a Chamber of Commerce area, or sports teams, or alumni association, some place that has a good list of members, to where you can be able to email or put in a newsletter to start to drive traffic to that microsite. You got to have a way to drive them there to be successful. It's just because you put it out there doesn't mean you're going to get it. So, but we do offer that ability to have that microsite. It doesn't take that long to set up, but some agents are very good at marketing and driving traffic, and that's what you need to do. And that way product can be sold without you being there. So something to think about.
Great. And Jesse, one more thing. I know you and I have talked about before. We've got some agents out there working a little bit in the group market, small businesses that are offering some opportunities to their employees to get some benefits. Can you talk a bit about how SureBridge does that, and just touch on list real quickly and then I'll
Right.
close it out for us today.
Okay. Yeah, we do have the ability to put all of our products on list bill for an employer, and this is where the employee is going to be paying. It's payroll deduction, and you can have all these plans. And what's nice about ours is that you have that guarantee issue of critical illness of 10,000. So it's not whether somebody's going to get a policy or not. At least everybody's going to get something if they're under 64. If you're doing critical illness, or you can do accident companion. None of these plans are going to offset against workers' comp or anything like this. This is all paid in addition. In fact, I just had an agent yesterday do a nice list bill case, had 11 lives on it. 2,500 of premium a month. So that's when you look at 2,500 of premium a month on 11 lives, uh, that's about what 30,000, 3,000 yeah, about 30,000 of premium. And so that's a pretty nice commission to have. So something to think about. So take a look at your client base, see who owns businesses, who's self-employed. It takes 2 apps to get this set up, and you go on to the dashboard, and where it says employer list bill, you click on that. You got a screen for the employer, and then you fill that out, and you get a group number, and then you go in to do the enrollments of the clients or the employees, and you just put in the group number in the payment section, and the bill is created and done. You just got to remember on effective dates, if you write the cases between the 1st and the 12th of the month, the effective date, like right now, June 1st through June 12th, the effective date will be July 1st. If you're writing anywhere from the 13th of June to the 30th of June, then the effective date will be August 1st. So you just got to make sure that you do a really, when you do the enrollment, that you're not doing half in one and half in the other, because you want to have everybody have the same effective dates. And if you have 1 or 2 that go outside the window, let me know and we'll see what we can do to fix that. But we want your enrollment to be successful and smooth, and we can help you with that. So think about tapping into that small group, small business market. Very good opportunity.
Great,
All right,
Jesse, and
Jeff.
thank you. So as we close today, guys, again, take a look at the slide there on your screen. If you need some assistance getting contracted or have some additional questions about SureBridge, give us a call here. Ask to speak to one of the marketing directors or someone in producer support to help guide you through the contracting process. And as Jesse mentioned, and I'll say this again as we close out, the ability of you to ask the correct questions to your clients can have a tremendous impact not only in the services you provide, but also to you financially. As Jesse mentioned, by selling that Medicare Advantage plan or selling that ACA plan, and then adding a couple of these products from SureBridge can make a huge difference to your bottom line at the end of the year. So really want to encourage you guys to sit down, think about how you're evaluating your clients when you sit down with those folks, and needs analysis is very important for you to develop your own style and your questions, but make sure that you touch all the points there when you're with your client. So with that, we're going to close, and I want to thank everybody for joining us again for a great webinar workshop, and have a great rest of your week, and we look forward to seeing you soon. If you've got any questions, again, give us a call here at the office at 866-568-9649. Take care, everyone, and do your best work. Talk to you soon. Thanks,
Right.
Jesse.
You bet. Take care. Don't forget the bonus.